And then the next question, 293, what is hell?
Hell is total separation from God, which is also eternal. That means which has no end. The person has died in state of mortal sin, in state of hatred of God. The person has no further opportunity to change, does not love God, and if offered heaven, will not accept.
They won't accept, you're saying?
No, will not.
Really?
That's the whole point of mortal sin. Because the person does not love God, does not want God, and yet the soul is made for God. So the agony of not meeting God and yet being created for God is a terrible one. We have no human language adequate for it. We say hellfire because we have no human language adequate enough. But all fire that we know would be gentle breeze compared to the real suffering of the people in hell.
And it will never end, you're saying? It will
never end. All suffering we know in this world has an end.
Yes.
Not so that of hell.
Well, people say, well, God's a merciful God. How could he punish someone for eternity?
They are just speculating. The fact is that Christ speaks to us of that fire which dies not. And Christ speaks of those who, at the last judgment, will go into eternal punishment, which is prepared for the devil and his angels. He says, because I was hungry and you did not give me to drink, I was thirsty, I was hungry, you didn't give me to eat, thirsty, you didn't give me to drink, in prison, you didn't visit me. In short, you did not love me in my little ones.
Yeah, that's amazing, though, because here you're saying a sin of omission could send me to hell. What you just said, that we don't look as direct sins, not feeding somebody or giving drink or acts of charity. Normally we look at mortal sins as overt acts that we do that are very evil.
A sin of omission can also be a grave sin. It will depend on what was omitted.
Yes.
Suppose I can swim. I'm in a river. Somebody falls in. Without difficulty, I can save the person. I don't. I refuse. I couldn't care less. The person dies. I am not the one who pushed him into the river. But now I have refused to take action. That's a sin of omission in a big matter. That's a big one. Suppose I see somebody who is going to burn a house. I could inform without difficulty and prevent a major tragedy. I don't inform. He burns the house and 10 people, the whole family, are killed. I am not innocent. Many sins of omission don't reach that.
Right.
Many sins of omission probably will be much lesser. But we cannot say all of them a priori.
Yeah, because in chapter 25 of St. Matthew, it even talks about the parable of the talents. The one that had the 1 talent buried it.
Yes.
The other one that had the 2 and the 5, they doubled it. But the one that buried it didn't steal it from his master. He gave it back. But he was condemned to hell for not doing anything with it.
But he was condemned.
Right.
So a sin of omission can be grave, or it can be lighter. We cannot say a priori. One has to examine case by case.
And then in hell itself, I know at Fatima, Our Lady gave the children a vision of hell. And when we read Sister Lucia's accounting of that to her letter to the Holy Father, it's an incredible accounting, when she talks about souls or the demons, like unimaginable demons, the creatures, and then souls like transparent embers, and the agony and the stench. And so it really is something we should think about, shouldn't we? Heaven and hell, because an eternity to keep us focused.
It is necessary to think of hell because Christ himself revealed it to us. It is not a scarecrow. It's not an arrangement made to frighten us. It is a fact. We cannot wish it away by saying that we don't admit it's there.
Yes.
We haven't a second chance after death. It is therefore important to take our Savior seriously. There are some who don't want to preach on hell. They say it disturbs children.
Right.
Are they wiser than our Savior, Jesus Christ?
That's right. And when you think of it at Fatima, our Blessed Mother showed it to these 3 little children.
Little children.
Yes. And they didn't smile after that.
We cannot pretend to be wiser than our Savior.
That's right.
So we better preach the full gospel.